welcome to this week's episode of Dermatologist Talks Science of Beauty. I'm Dr. Teo Wan Lin, and we have a really exciting topic to share today, and that is going to be about skin cell energy. We're going specifically in depth into the energy powerhouses of skin cells, known as the mitochondria, and essentially a dermatologist's guide when it comes to using the powerhouse anti-aging ingredient known as retinol.
This episode is brought to you by Laneige. The Perfect Renew Youth Retinol is a retinol cream for the entire face that contains pure retinol with 95% purity to provide relief for the appearance of both pores and wrinkles in just 7 days. Well, moving on, the last time I learned about mitochondria might have been in a high school biology class. Knowing that they're the powerhouse of the cell, it does make sense that they're important for our skin cells. How does mitochondria relate to our skin health?
Mitochondria are essentially the machines embedded in each of our skin cells that enable the skin to carry out its day-to-day functions, which range from barrier function, protecting our skin against the external environment, to repairing cell damage that occurs because of oxidative stress, or resulting skin damage either from UV exposure, environmental pollutants, or simply the process of biological aging that leads to the loss of the ability of the skin cells to repair and to regenerate itself. The mitochondria are essentially powerhouses that contain all of this energy to make your skin healthy and resilient.
I see. So the mitochondria really does play a huge role in how healthy our skin is. But can you tell us more about how skin aging works? We normally associate skin aging with fine lines and wrinkles, but what actually is going on in the skin? What are the factors that contribute to this process?
We have quite a lot of information with regards to the theory of aging related to the skin exposome concept. This refers to a process that occurs as one grows chronologically older, which results in the body being less and less able to repair the normal day-to-day stresses that it was used to handling when one was younger, for example. The importance of understanding the skin exposome concept is that there are certain factors beyond your personal genetics that are within your control, such as your lifestyle or your skincare regimen. All of these have a significant impact on skin aging. Studies have proven that you can take control of this aging process via modifying these lifestyle and environmental factors. We're going in depth into this today, starting with the role of dermocosmetics, which is a term coined for pharmaceutically active ingredients present in cosmetics that can play a role in improving your skin health and in slowing down the aging process as both a therapeutic and also a preventive option.
That's so relevant, especially when it comes to anti-aging products. Well, I'm curious to know, when is the right age to start using anti-aging skincare?
Well, so far, our clinical studies have all suggested that the body does undergo overall physiological changes consistent with aging when one goes past the age of 25. The skin, being an external organ, is visible, and hence it's good for us to track the health of the overall body systems through the skin as well. That being said, the amazing property of the skin is unlike the internal organs, the heart, the lungs, liver, kidneys, which cannot be readily accessed other than through oral medications or surgery. The skin responds very well to topical application directly applied to the skin. So we are talking about the ability of the skin to absorb active ingredients such as dermal cosmetics through the barrier known as the stratum corneum. Before we even go on to the types of active ingredients that are proven by science to play a key role in this process, we're going to talk a little bit about skincare formulas. How important it is for a skincare formula to be well formulated? Well, the answer is it is actually far more important than the ingredients itself.
Wow, I've always paid more attention to the ingredient list and have never really thought about how they are formulated. Why is the formulation of ingredients so important?
The reason is because we know that active ingredients, for example, which are beneficial in the anti-aging process, alpha hydroxy acids, AHA, BHA, these help to exfoliate the skin and also increases the cell renewal turnover rate. Cellular turnover refers to how quickly new skin cells move from the deepest layers to the topmost layers of the skin, replacing old dead skin cells. However, when it is poorly formulated in the wrong concentrations, it can either be too astringent, too harsh on the skin, resulting in skin sensitivity, or it can be totally ineffective.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, moving on, retinoids and retinols are some of the most well-researched ingredients when it comes to anti-aging. For those of you who are unfamiliar, retinol is a type of retinoid, a derivative of vitamin A, effective at preventing and minimizing fine lines and wrinkles. They've also proven to increase collagen production and skin elasticity.
Retinols are over-the-counter alternatives to retinoids, which are traditionally prescribed in dermatologist offices. It has a good reputation for being able to stimulate collagen production in the inner layer of the skin, the dermis, but the main reason why retinoids are prescription only is because of the high risk of skin irritation. Retinols, however, are common ingredient in over-the-counter products. It has, become a sort of dermocosmetic ingredient of choice because it's much better tolerated. However, there are also retinol formulations, which I have personally found to be very irritating on skin, that are also used as over-the-counter dermocosmetics. The key here is the specific type of retinol that's used as well. The Amori Pacific R&D Group, Laneich's parent company, is considered the international leader in the study and research of retinol in dermocosmetics, from its anti-wrinkle to its anti-acne functions. It's important that pure retinol is used, which ensures highest levels of bioactivity. This means that whatever you apply on your skin should deliver results. And this is the case with the pure retinol used in Laneich's product, as opposed to other forms of retinol. Cosmetic brands that do not emphasize the specific type of retinol that's being used, now these are most likely using a different form of retinol that needs to undergo conversion before it can be absorbed and for it to deliver effects to the skin. For example, at the level of the dermis, what we are looking at is the ability to stimulate collagen production in order for it to exhibit its anti-wrinkle effect. It's also very important for us to balance the concentration of active retinol with other ingredients that can help to reduce the sensitizing or irritation potential of retinol. Ideally, the combination of ingredients should synergize with the molecule to stimulate collagen production and regulate the regeneration of new skin cells, or what we call as keratinocyte turnover. The Laneige Perfect Renew Youth Retinol Eye Cream has been perfected by the Amori Pacific R&D Group to attain the ideal cosmetic formulation for a non-irritating eye cream that's also effective for reduction of fine lines, wrinkles, and for improving the appearance of the periorbital skin. It can also be used as a form of facial treatment over wrinkle-prone areas of the face to target areas such as the nasolabial folds, the forehead area, and even the neck. This is ideally applied at night as retinols, just like the prescription retinoids are photosensitizing, so it can cause one to be sun sensitive. Hence, we only recommend application of retinols at night.
Well, I'm also curious if the way creams are stored or how it is packaged actually makes a difference to the function. Is there anything we should look out for when purchasing a retinol product?
You're absolutely right, Chelsea. In fact, pure retinol itself is considered vulnerable to light and moisture. This makes it very important for us to purchase a retinol product from a reputable brand that also takes into consideration the packaging form, as this ensures the stability of the product. The Laneige Perfect Renew Youth Retinol Eye Cream is packaged in a 3-step airtight system, which is developed specifically for retinol itself. Firstly, the inner sealing of the cap at the tip of the product minimizes the inflow of oxygen, preventing oxidation, while also serving as a form of storage when the product is not in use. When you receive the Perfect Renew Youth Retinol, you will find that there has also been a separate stopper that has been added to prevent the seal from being broken in the shipping or distribution process. And finally, the third step is the incorporation of an aluminum sheet that seals the content to block exposure to oxygen more effectively.
Well, as a beginner, I've never used retinols or retinol-containing products before. How do I go about using the Perfect Renew Youth Retinol Cream?
Consistency and gradual increase is the key principle to follow here. For the first week, we recommend applying an amount of about the size of a rice grain every other day. As a step after your night cleansing regimen, a single rice grain for each area of wrinkles. The specific areas that have been studied by the Amore Pacific R&D group would be the following 8 areas. Firstly, the forehead wrinkles, then the ones at your eyebrows, known as the glabella wrinkles, the crow's feet, the inner corner of your eyes, the under eye wrinkles, are all these around the eyes. We call an area known as the periorbital skin. The smile lines, the wrinkles around the mouth contour, as well as the neck lines are areas that are targeted by this eye cream as well.
I see. And from the research data I've seen, the results are demonstrable after only 1 week of usage.
Yes. Going back to how we are going to gradually build up your tolerance to the retinol product, for the second week, repeat the same regimen, but instead of every other day, apply the cream every night. From the third week onwards, you can then increase the amount of retinol that you apply to each area. Our reference now is to apply the amount of the size of a bean to each of the areas of concern.
So what I've learned from this is that incorporating a retinol into your skincare regime should be a gradual process rather than applying it hastily or in large amounts all at one go. Well, what are some of the precautions when we are using retinol? Is there anything I should avoid?
That's a very good question, because we know that a lot of bioactive molecules actually have specific effects in terms of skin physiology. We also want to be aware of any cross interactions with other products so you can get the best benefits, and also to minimize any chance of skin irritation. When you're using the Perfect Renew Youth Retinol for the face, be careful to avoid the following. First of all, do not use any exfoliators or scrubs. I've spoken about this in my previous podcast. It is not necessary to include a physically abrasive exfoliator in your skincare regimen, because more often than not, it causes skin irritation rather than actual skin exfoliation, which is an improvement in the cell renewal process. Secondly, avoid any products containing alpha hydroxy acids, salicylic acids, BHA. We also do not recommend any skin massages. A note here, LED face masks seem to be rather popular in the home device market. But my personal opinion is that there is insufficient data to support the actual efficacy of using these handheld devices that deliver a limited amount of wattage to the skin as opposed to what's performed in a clinical setting. It is relevant here in our discussion because using an LED mask while you're using a retinol cream is actually contraindicated because it can increase your chance of light sensitivity. If you have undergone a laser treatment or chemical peel in the clinic, be sure to wait at least 3 to 5 days after inflammation has come down after the procedure to commence on your retinol regimen.
Well, I'm just looking through the ingredient list of the Perfect Renew Youth Retinol Cream for the face, and I'm very interested in the other ingredients that are present. You mentioned earlier that we have to look at how a product is formulated rather than just the active ingredients alone. Well, can you share with us a little bit more about why the Youth Retinol Cream is formulated to have minimal skin irritation with maximal skin benefits?
For the Perfect Renew Youth Retinol Cream, there is a synergistic combination of 6 active ingredients. Firstly, it contains a retinol itself, but it is really the potent combination with 5 other ingredients that synergizes with this active retinol molecule, which makes this retinol cream outstanding in terms of its dermocosmetic function. The hyaluronic acid, for example, is a 5D complex, multi-weighted molecular form that is readily absorbed by the sensitive periorbital skin, immediately providing plumpness to the delicate under-eye area that's prone to fine lines and wrinkles due to barrier dysfunction, which is the breakdown of the skin barrier with increased age. Tripeptide is a non-irritating retinoid-like molecule that further boosts the function of retinol. Tranexamic acid is a potent anti-pigmentation ingredient that can inhibit the production of melanin, reducing the chance of hyperpigmentation around the periorbital skin. The glycol extract, which is the patented formula by the Laneige parent company, Amori Pacific R&D Group, ensures stable and effective absorption of potent antioxidants, including Centella asiatica and specifically metacasoside, which has the ability to lighten scars and also to reverse oxidative stress.
Wow, that certainly seems like something that I should get started on. You mentioned before that after the age of 25, we start to age. Well, if that's the case, we already know that prevention is better than treatment. Well, the great thing about the Perfect Renew Youth Retinol Cream is that while it's formulated as an eye cream, which means it can be used even on the delicate eye area, it's also perfectly safe and well tolerated on other parts of the face, and it doesn't require a doctor's prescription. I'm also a huge serum fan because I love knowing that the active ingredients in the serum are encapsulated in a potent formula which I can apply on my skin. I also love the feel of serums on my skin and is what I look forward to most in terms of my day and night skincare routine.
Serums are actually the most efficient way to deliver concentrated active ingredients to your skin because of its ability to be readily absorbed. I'm really excited to be able to share the latest formulation of the Laneige Perfect Renew Youth Regenerator, which is in the form of a serum by the Amori Pacific Research Group that has incorporated all of these ideal elements in an anti-aging, anti-wrinkle serum in a single product. The Perfect Renew Youth Regenerator contains active ingredients that directly target the loss of cell energy in aging skin cells using energy glycol, which is a combination of botanical dermocosmetics that stimulates the skin's powerhouses in order to regenerate skin cells and to renew cell energy. In addition, it contains tripeptide, which is derived from 3 amino acids that have been proven to stimulate collagen production.
Well, the Perfect Renew Youth Serum does check the box of being a well-formulated skincare product. But what about the ingredients? Can you tell us more about how it works for our skin?
What we know about aging skin and the signs of aging skin relating to skin sagging, loss of fullness, is directly related to loss of collagen in the second layer of the skin known as the dermis. Tripeptide is an evidence-based active ingredient that can stimulate collagen production in aging skin in order to increase skin plumpness and fullness. Importantly, there is this potent antioxidant complex comprising of acai berry and acerola extract. This mixture is from botanicals and in this case is rich in a certain active molecule known as anthocyanins. This is part of a superberry complex with its antioxidant effect proven to be 4 times more effective than vitamin C serums, which can overall increase the skin's ability to target oxidative stress and to fight free radical damage, which is the main cause of skin aging. This means that skin damage is reversed, leading to skin brightening. In a clinical study performed by the Amori Pacific Research Group on subjects, this serum was found to have improved 5 signs of early aging, which includes measurement of the youth triangle in a high-definition skin imagery sort of measurement taken in just 7 days.
You mentioned before that the Perfect Renew Youth Serum contains energy glycol extract. Can you tell us more about that?
Going specifically into the science behind energy glycol, which is targeted at the skin energy loss that occurs with aging skin cells, the interesting perspective in this research shows that wild white ginger roots contain a potent concentration of glucose, fructose, sucrose, mannose, and galactose. 5 sugar types that are concentrated in white ginger roots are grown in the wild. These 5 sugars are then extracted using pharmaceutical methods over 12 hours at low temperatures to preserve the efficacy of this dermocosmetic ingredient. We're going to talk about how the energy glycol complex directly regenerates aging cells using this study that was performed by Amori Pacific. It demonstrates significant skin regeneration just within 24 hours of being treated with increasing doses of this white ginger root extract. The main area of activity is in the energy powerhouses of the skin cells, known as the mitochondria. Tripeptide is the second ingredient that we're going to examine. Now, peptides itself have gained more attention in the last decade, mainly because of oligopeptides and its ability to stimulate collagen production without the irritating side effects of retinoids.
Well, I do know that peptides are naturally occurring in the skin. They are amino acids that make up certain proteins such as collagen in the skin. So, how do peptides work in skincare?
The French tripeptide used in the Perfect Renew Youth Serum is an active ingredient that has been demonstrated to increase synthesis of procollagen, what we call a precursor molecule of collagen. This has resulted in increased skin firmness and an improvement with regards to a significant increase in the measurement of procollagen itself when treated with 0.5% tripeptide. At this stage, we're also going to talk about the third and final active ingredient, the superberry extract, which comprises of acerola and the acai berry extracts that have been stabilized by specific silicium capture technology patented by the Amori Pacific R&D to deliver a more potent antioxidant effect.
Wow, all these ingredients does have plenty of data backing them up. Well, apart from well-evidenced ingredients, are there any other factors that go into how effective a cosmeceutical product is?
It's very important to understand that the efficacy of your active ingredient is really dependent on how stable the dermocosmetic is when it's stored and when it's applied on skin. So that is the key differentiating factor from conventional cosmetics. Dermocosmetics are produced in a highly controlled research environment that allows scientists to discover the best method for extracting, stabilizing, and formulating the final cosmetic product. Clinical studies that have been performed by the research group have demonstrated the objective improvements in a few parameters in the research performed, which shows that there was a reduction in 5 important signs of skin aging. These include firmness, skin hydration levels, radiance, which has to do with cell turnover, skin texture, including the appearance of pores, and the presence of wrinkles. In 5 of these parameters, the skin measurements showed improvement in just 7 days. In terms of further objective assessment, a unique pictorial method was developed by the research group on the appearance of youthful skin versus aged skin. So this was defined as youth triangles, which essentially is an equilateral triangle that is clearly demarcated in youthful skin. But as one grows older, the triangles become enlarged and skewed in one direction, and as a result, wrinkles develop.
Well, I've always been curious about how wrinkles form. I know it has something to do with repeated facial expressions such as smiling or squinting, but does it mean that we shouldn't have so many facial expressions and instead try to keep a neutral face as much as possible?
Well, Chelsea, that's a brilliant perspective. However, I think that it is good for us to be able to express ourselves naturally. And we know that a lot of research in psychology and human perception actually links our body language, which includes our facial expressions, to how another person reacts to us. But for the purposes of this topic of wrinkles and aging, we have to understand that the development of wrinkles is primarily the result of a disconnect between the underlying muscles. So your face contains the muscles of facial expression, the subcutaneous fat loss, the fat just under your skin, due to the aging process itself, as well as the 2 layers comprising of your skin, which is the epidermis and the dermis. So the youth triangle that we spoke about before is specifically an epidermal sign, whereas the thinning of the skin that results in the skewing of the youth triangle is a result of processes that occur in the subcutaneous fat as well as in the dermis. When the active ingredients are absorbed through the skin, the stratum corneum, we expect the dermocosmetics to act on the levels of the epidermis, improving skin radiance by regulating cell turnover, as well as improving the resilience of the dermis, which means that your overall skin will look more plump and elastic. These are hallmarks of youthful looking versus photo-aged skin.
Well, that's it for today's episode. We've talked about how the mitochondria plays an important role in cell energy and the health and appearance of our skin, especially when it comes to skin aging. We've also discussed how the Laneige Perfect Renew Youth Retinol Cream utilizes retinol to combat signs of skin aging, and essential tips on the do's and don'ts of using this powerhouse anti-aging ingredient. We also talked about the importance of a well-formulated skincare product, in addition to the evidence-based active ingredients it should contain. Well, thank you for joining us today. You can follow Dr. Teo on Instagram at Dr. Teo Wan Lin for more podcast updates, and check out Laneige's website at laneige.com/sg. And make sure to check out at www.scienceofbeauty.net for the full podcast transcript.